Hello everyone, this is Gunnar Raghulan from GR Tech School. In this video, we're going to be learning about OpenCV and Python. So the OpenCV is very popular framework for computer vision applications. So this tutorial is going to teach you the basic fundamentals of OpenCV and Python. So we're going to cover a couple of things in this presentation, such as introduction to OpenCV. At first, we will discuss what is OpenCV, how to use it, what are the places that the OpenCV is already used. Finally, then we will discuss how to install OpenCV on our computer using Python programming language. As a programming language, we're going to use Python. So OpenCV is also compatible with other programming languages such as Java, C++, and so on and so forth. But we're going to use the Python programming language for this tutorial. And reading images and reading videos. Then we will learn how to read images using OpenCV and Python. Then we learn how to do some stuff like adding text and changing to different size and so on and so forth. We're just going to manipulate the images, and after that we will read the video and we will convert the video into grayscale and save it and so on and so forth. Finally, we will learn how to access our webcam using OpenCV and Python. So this is the agenda that we're going to cover in this video tutorial. Introduction to OpenCV. OpenCV is a much powerful computer vision framework that is used to build machine vision application. OpenCV is used in computer vision application a lot. For example, if you take a computer vision application such as face detection or face mask detection, there are a lot of cases that the OpenCV used in that program. For example, before we train a machine learning model, we have to get the data. For those kinds of things, OpenCV would be very helpful. OpenCV is mainly used for manipulating the images, manipulating the frames, and so on and so forth. And before we train a machine learning model for face detection, what we need to do, we have to collect data of the user. For the data collection, we have to write a simple program in OpenCV to collect the data. And before we train the images, we have to sanitize the data. That means we have to clean up the data. For that kinds of things, we use OpenCV a lot, such as converting the image into grayscale and adding some blurring in it. And after that, during the runtime, we use OpenCV, such as to drawing a rectangle and drawing a circle and to capture the image and save the image on the disk. And there are a lot of cases that we use OpenCV to do computer vision application. And OpenCV is very powerful to develop computer vision application. For example, if you want to use OpenCV for C#, there's another alternative called IMUCV. IMUCV is the alternative for a C#, that is the OpenCV version. For example, if you want to build any vision based computer application in C#, I will highly recommend you to use IMUCV for that. Like that, we're going to discuss, this tutorial is going to discuss the basic fundamentals of OpenCV, such as how to manipulate an image, how to read an image, such as how to add text, how to save that image, and so on and so forth. I hope this tutorial is going to give you the basic idea of computer vision and OpenCV. So in the next section, we're going to see how to install OpenCV in our computer using Python programming language. Okay guys, now we're going to install the OpenCV on my computer. OpenCV is pretty easy to install. For example, we don't need to download any content or click next to install it. For example, we can simply install the OpenCV by issuing a command on our command line tool. And now I'm going to open the OpenCV official website. For example, this website contains much information about OpenCV and so on and so forth. If you want to learn more about OpenCV, I will highly recommend you to visit this website. And it has a nice documentation. For example, the best way to learn programming language is reading their own documentation. So if you want to learn any framework or programming language, I would say you can read their documentation and learn it in a perfect way, because they have a good example in it. And now we're going to see how to install it. Okay, and the installation process is pretty simple. Like I said before, we have to open our command line and type pip install OpenCV Python. If we issue this command, it will automatically install the OpenCV in your computer. But before that, I would like to show a website to you that is called PyPI. So this website is the marketplace for Python programming language. So every programming language has its own marketplace. For example, if you take the Node.js, it has its own marketplace called NuGet Package Manager. Like C# has its own market, Flutter has its own market like FubDev. Like that, every programming language has its own marketplace that you can download dependencies and frameworks to accelerate or increase the programming abilities. Like that, Python programming language has a marketplace that we call PyPI. PyPI.org. For example, you can search any other frameworks in here. For example, I'm going to type TensorFlow here. TensorFlow is a model training framework which is released by Google, and it is used for mathematical and metrics calculation, but basically we use TensorFlow to train machine learning model. So the basic idea of this explanation is you have to understand there is a marketplace called PyPI.org for the Python programming language. Here you can download and install the thing easily. For example, I'm going to type the OpenCV Python. So if I type and enter OpenCV Python, and you can see the instruction is shown here. If we copy and paste this, it will automatically install the OpenCV on our computer. And you can see this is the installation area. For example, if you want to install it, just copy and paste it, and we already done it, but I have already installed the OpenCV on my computer, therefore it says requirement is already certified. But if you want to, in your computer, if you enter this command, it will take some time to download the content and install it. Then the installation process completes on the background. Okay guys, then after the installation, just check whether the OpenCV installed successfully or not. But make sure to consider this. For example, this OpenCV has been installed in our base directory. Like in our in list, if you type conda in list, that you can see we are in the base directory. So therefore the OpenCV has been installed in our base directory. For this tutorial, we haven't used any environment or so on and so forth, but in the last video we have shown how to create environment and how to create virtual environment using Anaconda. So before you install this OpenCV things, you have to make sure that the Python has been installed in your computer, otherwise you will face lots of problems. If you don't know how to install Python, make sure to watch my previous video. I showed you how to install Python using Anaconda distribution. Now we're going to check whether the OpenCV has been installed or not. For that, I'm typing just Python and type import cv2. So if you get successful like this, that means the OpenCV installed successfully. So for example, now I'm going to type uninstall package. So it says no module found dlib. If you get this error when you import the OpenCV framework, that means the OpenCV didn't install successfully. Okay guys, this is how OpenCV is installed. I hope you install it successfully. Okay guys, now we're going to jump into some OpenCV practicals. So we're going to learning the basic fundamentals. So now we're going to see how to load this image in OpenCV. So the basics things, okay? We're not going to learn any advanced things here. We're just going to load the image and do some manipulation, okay? And for that, I'm going to create a folder. I have already created a folder called OpenCV Basic English. Inside that folder, I put an image. So we're going to play with this image. So I'm opening my text editor called Sublime Text Editor, and I'm going to save a empty file inside the directory. So where's my directory? OpenCV English Basic. So I'm saving image program.py. Okay, so first of all, I'm importing the CV. So this means we are importing the OpenCV framework. So we don't need to type like this. Don't type like this. So in order to import CV2, you have to do like this. So this tutorial covers the very basic fundamentals. I'm not going to teach you the advanced. So it is designed for very beginners. That's why I'm teaching every step very detailed. If you are advanced, this tutorial might be boring to you, okay? And in order to read the image, now we're going to read the image. So in order to read the image, we have to create a variable. So I'm creating image variable, okay? Image here. I'm going to store cv2.imread. So the image that I want to read is this img. img, and the format of the image is jpg, I hope. Then we have to type cv2 wait key. So why do I need to put this wait key? Is to wait until the frame ends. So what we did here, we import the OpenCV, we read the image, then we have to show the image. So in order to show the image, we have to type imshow and image. So far we load the image. The image has been loaded in this variable. Then we show the image here. So in order to show the image, we have to give a frame name. So I'm going to give it as frame. So this is a simple line of codes. There are 4 lines of codes which we use to read the image. So just run this program to check whether it works or not. Okay, and when I run, it works perfectly. But you can notice the image height is very big. So we need to reduce the height. I mean, we have to resize the image. So the thing is how to resize the image now. Now we're going to see how to resize the image. And like I said before, the wait key is the holding. For example, if you don't put the wait key, what will happen? The project will automatically open and close it. And you can notice the problem is you have to tell wait until something is pressed. That's the meaning of wait key. Okay, now if I press, it will go first any keyword. So in order to resize the image, I'm going to create another variable called resized image. I'm going to assign image dot not image cv2.resize. Then what I'm going to resize is the image. So what height I want to give, I'm going to resize to 500 into 500. Okay, now if I show this, so this image, I'm not going to showing this, just see this. Okay, I put this variable into this. So now if I run, what will happen? The image has been resized normally. So now the task is to add a text in it. Now you've shown how to read an image in OpenCV and then how to resize the OpenCV. Okay, how to resize an image. Now we're going to see how to add a text in it. The adding text is a bit tricky because you need to pass lots of parameters to it. The method that we use is put text. Put text meaning put some text onto the resized image. Then what I need to do, I need to say what to place. So I'm saying this is an example text or something. Okay, I need to write this is an example text on the image. So next I should say where to place it. So here we have to put the coordinates like 50 and 50. For example, the 50 means 50y 50x points. For example, if you float this image in an xy graph, and you can see here, watch my cursor, here is the 0, and if here is the 0. If I place like this, 50 will come here. Okay, and the xy coordinates. So if you want to change the position, you can increase the xy coordinates to change the position where to place the text. Okay, that's the meaning of this 50, which means 50x 50 y. Okay, so next parameter that we need to put is we have to tell what font we need to use it. The font that we're going to use it, cv2 dot font, the basic font, that is simplex font. Okay, then we have to tell the scale amount, how to scale the size, how to scale the text. Then we have to tell the color. The color that we are using is BGR, not RGB. Most of the people are familiar with RGB, red, green and blue, but here we are using BGR. BGR mean blue, green and red in the reverse order. This is how OpenCV is interpreted. So now I'm going to type 50 in 0 and 0. This means the 255, that means this is the dominant color. This is the blue color. This text is going to be the blue color. Okay, now after that we have to define the thickness of the font. So I'm giving 2 means the a little bit thickness. If you want to increase the boldness of the text, you have to increase this value. If you want to increase the scale, you have to increase this value. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to specify a line. So this is what nothing but is a line called the type of line that is going to use. And you can see it is a pretty simple text. We have written we have write the sentence. For example, we resize the image here. So what we did so far, we import the OpenCV, we read the image. After read the image, we just resize the image. After resizing the image, we just write something like this is an example text according to this coordinates, and we just put some text, I mean the font. Then after that, we are just giving a color, then the thickness, then the line means how the curves, how does the curve looks like of the font, and so on and so forth. Then we display the resized image. Let me run this program to see if anything happens. Okay, okay, now we can see the text has been placed successfully, and you can see this is an example of text. Why it is useful? There are many useful cases of this. For example, if you want to add a text or logo of yours into a image. For example, you have thousands of image, you want to add your text into that thousands image one by one. So that process is very headache. For example, if you are adding that text using Photoshop, that would be very hard. You have to open a text and you have to place a text and so on and so forth. But by using these kinds of automation script, what you need to do, we have to write a simple for loop to enter the text. You have to get the text in a Excel sheet or in a separate file. Then you loop that file and automatically you add that text into the image. For example, like certificates, if you take the certificates, we create the template of the certificate, then we have to enter the participants names in the certificates one by one. So that task are very tedious. I saw many graphics designer, they do like this. They open the Photoshop and they import the image and they add the text and so on and save and so on and so forth. But if we write a simple script like this, it will do automatically for that. The automation would be much clearer. Okay, so in the next section we're going to be learning how to read video. So in this section we learn how to read image and how to manipulate image, such as adding text and resizing and so on and so forth. But this is very basic operation in OpenCV. There are many complicated and there are many advanced steps in OpenCV that you need to learn, but this tutorial, this section will give you at least the basic understanding of OpenCV. Okay, in the next section we're going to see how to analyze videos. Okay guys, in the last section we have shown how to manipulate images and adding some text and resizing, and we have shown the basic fundamentals of image processing, the basic fundamentals of image manipulation. But in this section we're going to be seeing how to load or how to process videos in OpenCV and Python. So what we're going to do in this video, we have a simple video. So this is a simple video. So we are going to load this video. Why do I need to load this video? Because before you do any computer vision application, you need to load the video. We need to read the video. That is the main focus. Okay, so we're going to learn the basic stuff, how to load this video into Python or the OpenCV. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open my text editor. I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to save it as video. Okay, video hyphen project and .py. Okay, then I'm gonna write, I'm starting to write the code like for example, import OpenCV. So this is the code to import the library OpenCV. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna write a video, and then I'm typing cv2 video capture, then the sample image video mp4. This is nothing but the relative path of this video. So the video is mp4, that's why I'm putting here. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write a infinite loop. So this while true does means it's going to run forever. So this loop executes in a way that is going to run forever. It never ends. So why do we need this loop? For example, this is a raw video. We just load the video in this variable. We need to to break this into chunk. I mean, we need to break into frames by frame. In order to do the frame analyzation, or in order to process the frame, we have to put this inside the while true method. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create two variables. One is called let. I will explain what is let later. Then I'm going to type frame. In the frame, I'm going to type video.read. Okay, so far what I did, I just import the plugin, and I just load the video. I added infinite loop. Inside the infinite loop, I create two variables, let and frame, and I read the video here. Okay, what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to show this. So you know what's a keyword to show the frame to the user. Okay, we have to use the imshow method. So I'm going to use display. So display is nothing but the name of the window like this, and I'm going to type frame. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to type cv2.wait key. I will explain what's wait key. Okay, and I'm going to type next what I need to type is video release. Then I want to type cv2.destroy all windows. So this is all about it. This is the code that we need to write now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to operate. I mean, just going to run this program called video project, and you can see we have successfully read the video in OpenCV. Now we can process. Now we can give this video to face detection model or face mask detection model. Whatever model we want, we can just give this video to it. So that's simple is it. Okay, and what we're gonna do right now, and we're just going to learn what is let. So I have already told there is two things. Okay, first of all, we import the video, we import the plugin, we loaded the video, then we are running inside the loop. Inside the loop, what we are doing, we are just getting the frame here. This is the frame. The video is going to convert it as a frames. Then we are getting the frames here. Then we are getting a boolean value. We're getting a boolean value here. I will explain why it is. And then we can show that we are showing the frame to the user. Then we are waiting for 1 millisecond. For example, if I put it 1000 millisecond, what's going to happen? It's going to wait. It's going to run every 1000 millisecond. That means every 1 second, one frame will be processed. So what's happening here? So here one frame come, then it shows the frame, then it waits 1 second until 1000 millisecond, then it's loop like this, then it's get the second frame, then it's display, then it's wait for 1 second, then it's get the frame, and so on and so forth. This loops continues. That is how it's showing the video like this. This is how the media player and things works. Okay, now we're gonna do we're gonna put 0. So in the previous example, when we are doing image manipulation, what we did, we just put 0 in the wait key. So what does it mean 0? So I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna run this. So now you can see the frame stop. So when I press the key on my keyboard, it's execute one by one. You can notice, so I'm pressing my keyboard, the space bar on my keyboard, and it's release it. So this means if any key presses, let it go to here. So here what's happening, the frame come here, then it shows the frame, then waits for until any key press in the computer. If we press any key, what happened, the loop goes here and waiting for the keyboard listening, keyboard inputs. This is how this works. Okay, now I'm going to put 1 and save, and we can just repeat it. Okay, we just need to close this program. Okay, we just need to close this program, and what we need to do next, we want to explain what is let. Okay, before that we have to run the program. Yeah, it's correct, it's working perfectly now. So what we're going to do right now, what is let? Let is nothing but we just printed let. What is let? I'm going to print let. Okay, and you can see on the screen, on the window, on the console window, you get true, 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 so on and so forth. Then at the end of the video, once the video is finished, and you can notice you get the false. Okay, This is nothing but a listener. We can use it as a listener. For example, you're building a vehicle counting system, or a system which counts the vehicle and cars and so on and so forth on the road. Okay, and okay, just imagine. Okay, and your boss wants to alert after the video finishes. For example, you are processing a video. Once the video finishes, the system has to send an email to the boss. Therefore, we have to have an indicator, therefore we have to have a listening point. Therefore, we most of the time we use the let for those kinds of actions. For example, I'm going to type if let is equal to false. When it's become false, what you need to do, send the email. So we need to write the email function to send, how it sends the email. So instead of sending the email, because we didn't write the code right now for sending the email, I'm gonna do completed or something. Okay, completed or something. What's gonna happen now? It's going to process frame by frame here. Every frame is going to come here. Okay, why every frame is come here? Then it checks if the let is false. It's do this. Otherwise, it's jump here. But most of the time, if the video comes, it's never executes. It executes. It's skipped. It will be skipped, and this section will be executed. Okay, the first time the frame comes, yes, it's true. It never be executed. Then, but it's execute, shows the frame, and wait 1 millisecond, and so on and so forth. But if it comes to the end, it will print completed. Like I said before, instead of completed, you can send email, or you can trigger any functions once the video has been completed. Once the process, for example, your boss wants to know, once the video completed, he wants to be get alerted. The company needs to be get alerted. Therefore, you write a simple script inside here to send the message. Just thinking you are developing this application as a vehicle counting system. They put the video at night. It takes lots of time to count the vehicle. So it's processed the vehicle one by one and counts. Once the vehicle counting process completed, it's going to send an email to the company leaders or company boss to the video has been finished or something like that. Okay, now I'm going to execute this program to see what's happening. So now you can see it's running. Once the video completed, it's gonna say, okay, once the video completed, it's gonna say, yeah, video completed, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is why we use let. Okay, you can notice we get an error here. So if we put break here, what's gonna happen? We never get an error like that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just process the frame, and once it's become false, once it's become false, what's going to happen, it's going to break the video. We never get the error. The reason we got the error, because once it's become false, it shows the frame, but there's nothing to show because there's no frame. Did you get my point? Because it indicates it will be true only if it gets frame. If there's no frame, it's going to be false. When it's going to be false, what's going to happen? It's going to be break. If you don't break it, you just print something. What's going to happen in the earliest example? What happened in the earliest example? What happens? There's no frame here, but it's false. It's just printed completed or something. It just print completed, but it's execute this. But there's no frame to show. That's why when you run this program, you get the error that is saying there is no like this, there is no OpenCV like this. You will get an error right now. Completed, then you got an error. The reason you got an error because you didn't break it. So in video processing, we use let to indicate whether the video is finished or not. So now if you put break, that means the video has been finished. Okay, and another use case that we're going to learn right now, I'm going to convert this color video into grayscale. So in order to convert the color video into grayscale, what do I need to do? I need to create a variable. So I'm going to say gray variable. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to type CV2 and CVT color. Then what do I mean? I want to convert the frame. In what format I want to convert? I have to tell CV2 color BGR to gray. This means convert this color frame into gray. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to replicate another window. So I'm going to name it as display 2. This is display 1. Okay, I'm going to copy this frame, gray frame, and paste it. Okay, now it will show the color frame and it will show the gray frame. So obviously there's going to be two windows like this. Okay, I hope you got the point of this of processing the videos. So this is a sample example on processing videos, but there are a lot to learn. Like you can add Gaussian blur, you can convert this video into canny format, and so on and so forth, that you can learn later. But this is the basic introduction. So I hope you can understand this 10 lines or 15 lines of code, whatever it is. So in the next section, I'm going to show you how to access the live video camera. So when accessing the live video camera, the red is not going to work. Okay, it will work, but it comes true always, because the live streaming will always put you frame, but the video will but the pre-recorded video will finish, but the live screen will continuously throws videos into the frame. Okay, so next we're going to see how to access the video. Okay guys, in the last section we have shown how to read the videos, pre-recorded videos, but in this section we're going to be learning how to access the webcam. So we're going to be processing the stream video. The process is pretty simple because we don't need to spend any time, so we need to just change one line of code. For example, what we are doing here, we are just importing the library and we just load the screen and we are doing the processing here. So instead of loading the videos, we just need to put the 0 here. Okay, now what happens is it's looking for the first attached camera in your computer. For example, if your computer has 2 cameras, if you want to access the second camera, you need to put 1. Okay, if you want to access the first camera, you have to put 0. Since my laptop has only 1 camera, I have to put 0. Suppose if your laptop has lots of cameras, if you plug it, if you have lots of USB cameras, you can change them according to their index. So basically, if you put 0, this means it's never going to look anywhere here. It's going to look your camera. It's try to open your camera and it's going to process. Now if I save this video and execute, it's going to open my video cam and it's going to process it. Okay, I'm going to type Python and video project. So when I enter, it's going to open my camera. Okay, and you can see my camera has been opened. So I don't like to show my face, therefore I have shown some boxes. It's a face mask boxes. Okay, and the video cameras is working perfectly, and you can see it works absolutely great. So this is how we can access the video camera instead of pre-record videos. Okay, and this is pretty easy. I hope you have understood this. For example, if your computer has the second camera, you have to put 1 and so on and so forth. I hope you have understood the things, the same things, only we have to change this. Okay guys, we just finished the video, and this video is for really beginners. Okay, it's not for advanced people, it's just only for beginners, and I hope this will give you a great introduction to OpenCV and Python. I consider it for only beginners, therefore I explained it further and deeper. So I hope you have got some ideas of OpenCV. So this tutorial taught you how to manipulate images and adding texts and resizing and just saving, and also we learned some video processing, how to load the videos. These are the very pretty basic stuff in OpenCV, but there are lots of things to learn in OpenCV and Python. I highly recommend you to go to this website and look at some documentations. Okay, in upcoming videos we will see some more examples on OpenCV, and maybe I will meet you with a project. Okay guys, until then, thank you very much for watching this video. I will see you in the next video.